What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I have another review for you guys, and this is actually based off of the review that I did recently, which was the review of the HTC One M8, and you can actually find a link to that in the description below, so go check that out, even if it is 23 minutes long. In any case, let's go ahead and talk about how that relates. Well, these are the headphones that came with the HTC One M8, and I was like, when I first saw them, I just chucked them to the side, like, oh, these have got to be a plastic piece of nothing, since usually most headphones that come with phones are just terrible. But apparently, HTC's learned a few things from creating things like boom sound and, of course, working with Beats for the last who knows how many years. And so these headphones that you would normally think are the cheapest things in the world sound amazing, to tell the truth. So how I'm going to do this review is I'm going to complain my head off about build quality, and then I'm going to praise these things to an extreme level about sound quality. So let's start off with build quality. So right off the bat, we have our little red and black design, as you can see right there. Working our way forward, we don't have the best construction in the world, just normal cheap plastic. Working our way up from there, we have we have rubber, of course, and of course it's flat wired, but of course the flat wiring is made so thin, and not thin as in this way thin, thin as in this way thin, that even though it's made out of flat wiring, it still tangles somehow. So I'm not a big fan of that. And then, of course, working our way up from there, we have our little knob thingy that doesn't even say HTC on it and happens to get scratched up extremely easily. And finally, we do get volume, or at least just controls up here. Sad part here is the fact that we don't get volume controls, even though I almost accidentally said that we do. But we do get a little mic, and of course, we get this little button that we can use to play and pause our music on just about any device. And of course, we can use it to answer and get rid of calls when we don't want them. Working our way up from there, personally the black and red look pretty nice. They don't look like the nicest headphones you've ever seen, but they don't look half bad either. And yet, I still have to complain about these rubberized tips. They're built in such a way that they just don't want to stay inside of your ear. I'm not a big fan of that. Maybe I just have small ears, or maybe these whoever designed these just happens to have big ears. Either way, I'm not a big fan of the rubberized tips that come with this thing. It does come with different sizes, but all of them seem to be the same size. I don't know what HTC was thinking when they did that. Okay, and then on the back we have a little shiny little structure over here that says HTC on it on both headphones. Now, I looked and looked and looked, but I can't seem to find any little rubber thingy down here that will allow this to be a lot more flexible. And of course, to tell the truth, I don't want to try it out, but if I pull this hard enough, something tells me that this part and that part are going to come apart, because there's no little rubberized reinforcement down there on either side. This is, of course, your right, this is your left. Let's go ahead and talk about sound quality. Sound quality wise, to tell the truth, these headphones sound really, really good. It actually gives you a really, really deep bass, just like the boom sound speaker system built into the HTC One M8. And of course, it also gives you a really, really really nice trebles. Overall, the sound is really clear. The only time I could hear static is when I blasted it to 100%, which I highly suggest you guys don't do with any pair of headphones, but that was the only time, which is pretty much normal. So overall, these headphones are really nice, really good. And besides that, the only downside is the fact that there's no noise isolation. But if you get the right type of tips, or if you have the right type of tips at home, noise isolation is more or less based on what tips you use and not necessarily the headphones themselves. So overall, they're built very cheap, and yet somehow whatever is inside of these headphones somehow power these things extremely well, which is why I spent my time making a review on them. Now, are you going to get the phone because of these headphones? No, most likely not. But overall, if you're going to be getting an HTC One M8, keep in mind that the S5, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't come with any headphones. And so I guess this is a little add-in to that. And either way, they sound really nice. Thank you for watching. This is going to be me logging off.